Hey folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
What up, it's Dud.
And I'm Obert.
And happy birthday to me.
Oh, jeez.
We just talked about this with Nick turning 31 last few episodes
You're old.
ago.
So you guys both have to wish me a happy birthday right now.
Okay.
Live on air.
It's official. Chris, happy birthday.
Yay!
No. I hope 31 brings you a full year of happiness and delicious North Carolina beers.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. That is many wise words. Now let's go around the room and say what I mean to the people on this podcast.
I'm not wishing you a happy birthday. Your birthday is 2 days from now, or when people listen to this, it was 2 days before this. It's not really your birthday, no matter what way you cut this.
It is my birthday. God damn it! This is my birthday episode.
I as I sit here, I will have texted you on your birthday 2 days from now, or when people listen to this, I texted you 2 days before and said happy birthday.
No. This is my birthday episode, so it's official. Like, I am 31 years old now. So
we didn't celebrate Obert's birthday,
did we?
Yeah,
sure we did. Right?
I think we did a thing when we all had reached 30.
See, yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
I think we did. So it's only fair that I get a birthday episode. So
okay,
I expect a cake, and
everybody knows that on your birthday episode
surprise
you
party.
have to do all of the work, and the other two hosts can just sit back while you do all three handles and all three beer reviews.
Right. So have fun talking for an hour,
and we just dunk on you on all of your opinions.
It's like a roast. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah. Chris, definitely one of my top two favorite co-hosts.
He's in the top three. I mean,
top three all time.
I kid. In all seriousness, happy birthday! You better drink 31 beers.
Oh yeah, you drinking 31 beers in this podcast?
Oh man, could you imagine? Could you imagine how bad of a podcast that would be?
I can't even imagine you drinking 31 ounces of beer on this podcast.
I mean, I probably end up doing that, right? Like 2 beers? That's not too bad, right?
Is that you accepting the challenge?
No. You have to pour 1 ounce into the garbage.
Oh, so I have to drink. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try and drink 31 ounces of beer in this podcast. I'm gonna try it. Why not?
Okay, so for the record, we're starting at 0 ounces right now.
0 ounces.
We're gonna keep the audience updated as we go through this episode. So let's start right away with your beer review, so we can get you drinking.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, 31 ounces of beer ish on this, maybe more on this podcast. Okay. Oh god.
Okay.
Oh no!
Chris already spilled his first ounce.
Oh my god! This
How does this always happen to you?
I just bought this.
Well, there's your 1 ounce gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, it's a 12-ounce beer. Oh man! I mean, it smells good.
Oh jeez, you're gonna have a difficult time doing some math.
I know.
Here a little bit.
You're gonna have to. Man, that really
those
exploded
reflexes
on me.
of young 30-year-old Chris.
I'm curious, like, how old is this? Jeez, I bought this in a bottle shop. So, as we all know, I recently am in the transition of moving to North Carolina. So, I was like, you know what? It's going to be good. We're going to get our first North Carolinian beer on here, and it explodes all over myself. So, damn, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Anyways, all right. I got 31 ounces of beer to drink. So, we're going to get right into it. I have for you a Steel Spring Brewery, which is in Carborough, North Carolina. It's a Vohami spiced plum grisette, which I don't know if I've ever had a grisette before.
No, any of those words.
Yeah.
Well, spiced. I know it's spiced.
I mean, plum probably, maybe, right?
That's the brown. That's the purple one.
All right, maybe not, but so yeah. So grisettes are, I mean, from what I understand, they're like akin to a Belgian saison. So, I don't know how to feel about this because I don't really like Belgians, but once this head dies down a little bit, I'll get into it. But I was at a bottle shop and I saw this and it was pretty interesting. It's got a really funny label, like a squirrel kind of thing with like a really dark looking squirrel.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
And you'll see it on the Instagram, of course, but I probably poured about 1 or maybe 2 ounces out just because it exploded all over my hand. So, but I have a drinkable amount right now, so I'm gonna see how this tastes.
All right. Yeah, I think grisette is what we call like the female basketball players on our college basketball team here in Montana, because they're the Grizz and they must be the Grisettes.
That's interesting.
Oh, wow. That's not what I was expecting at all. So this beer, it's like relatively, light is
nice,
might not be, not bad. Like a nice amber color. Yeah.
I alternate between thinking of calling it light amber and dark amber, and it's really just straight up middle of the road amber.
Yeah, no. And, if it is Belgian, which from what I understand it is, I don't get like that Belgian aftertaste that generally turns me off to Belgians, but you get a lot of spice, get a little bit of like the plum sweetness towards the middle, and that spice like rides through the whole rest of the way. It's actually a pretty solid beer for exploding, outside of the first 2 seconds of opening it. But
that's good. It's encouraging that you're going to have a full lineup of good Tennessee. A full lineup of good North Carolina beers going forward. Yeah,
I'm very very pleased by this. So it's 5.5% ABV, and it says a festive winter warmer with an Appalachian twist, brewed with plum, clove, cinnamon, and allspice. So definitely get a lot of those spices towards the front, and like I said, the plum kind of mellows it out towards the middle, and then you have like a nice like sweet yet a little bit with the little background of those spices through the rest of the beer.
What is allspice?
It's like all the spices in one.
Right.
I don't know exactly what it is.
It's like pumpkin pie spice, but allspice.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not 100% certain what it is, but
I think it comes in tiny little balls.
But yeah, no, solid beer. I'm very, very impressed by it, and I like it. I think I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5. And yeah, you don't get any of the Belgian aftertaste. It's pretty much just like spice and plum throughout the beer, which I enjoy that kind of stuff. So good beer. I'm happy. The first North Carolinian brew on the pod, and I'm enjoying it. Good beer.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so we have 2 ounces down, 29 to go.
No, I'm gonna say I poured two ounces out. So this is 10 ounces down. So
you haven't drank all 10 ounces.
Well, not yet. Yeah,
I know, but we're doing a live play-by-play.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, so yeah, I'll say 2 of the 10 current ounces down.
Okay, all right.
But who wants next?
Let's sandwich Tud's non-beer in the middle here.
Yeah, so I'll go next. I am drinking a Colorado bourbon whiskey called Fireside. It's by Mile High Spirits, and Mile High Spirits was a distillery that was founded in 2011. This is a little bit of a lighter bourbon. It's 80 proof, 40% alcohol. It's small batch, and it comes from Colorado.
Yeah, you mentioned that. So here comes the shock.
So because it's lighter, it doesn't really have much of a shock.
And it goes right into the adjustment. And the savor.
It tastes like a blend between a bourbon and a scotch. It's got that little bit of peatiness to it that scotches have. It doesn't
make an Irish whiskey?
No. It definitely has that sweetness of the bourbon, but it's got that, like, the aftertaste, I guess, reminds me of, like, if I were to have scotch. And as we all know, I don't really like scotch, so I'm not really a fan of the aftertaste.
Yeah, so where did you pick this one up?
I found it at a local liquor store in right next to my work, and I was just looking for something, and the guy recommended it, so I picked it up. I'm really happy that the bottle's done because it wasn't my favorite.
Okay.
But, it's okay. I think that, having the aftertaste of scotch kind of ruins it for me a little bit.
Well, I'm glad we can continue the trend of clearing out your fridge with clearing out your liquor cabinet here in the podcast.
Right. I figured I would just keep up what you wanted me to do and just clear out my house of alcohol.
Yep.
So,
New beers resolution.
So I'm doing it. I'm going to give this, I'll probably give it a 2.75.
That's a rough rating for you.
Yeah, it's not, I really like the flavor on the front end. It's just the aftertaste kind of kills me.
Oh, well, they can't all be winners, folks.
Yeah, that just proves that there's bad beer. When Tud rates something at 2.75, well, not bad beer, but bad whiskey.
Yeah. There's bad whiskey.
Yeah.
There's really good whiskey, too.
We are snobs, but sometimes we shoot for the moon and we miss.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that was my short little bourbon review. Obert, what are you drinking?
Maybe I can help us end on a more positive note here, because I have something from Deschutes out of Bend, Oregon.
I love Deschutes.
Deschutes is a classic around here. Like, just like you would be able to find, say, anything from Sam Adams in Connecticut, you can find anything from Deschutes in Montana. They're like,
are you saying that you can't find Sam Adams in Montana?
Well, you know how Sam Adams, you have tons of varietals, and they have the one-offs and bombers and random stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't get that in Montana?
Not so much.
Really?
Yeah. But Deschutes, you can find their fresh squeezed almost everywhere, which is one of my favorites. And today on the podcast, I have the Mirror Pond Pale Ale. So Mirror Pond Pale Ale is named after the slower section of the Deschutes River, where right near the brewery in Bend, where you have this incredible reflection of the mountain, and it's called Mirror Pond, even though it's not really a pond. So you'll see in the artwork we post that reflection we're talking about, and we get a lot of those same mirror pond views here in Montana. So that's why it kind of resonated with me and why I went to pick this beer. But yeah, so here we go.
It looks like a nice dark. Yeah, I like that color.
That's really good. You get a lot of that crystal malt. We all know and love her on the podcast.
IPAs.
Yeah, this is
She's back.
Hopped with Cascade hops, which is really a good winning combination for me because you get that caramelly sweetness with the bitter hop combo, which is really, I think, what you want in a nice pale ale.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good.
Yeah, man, I haven't had this one before, but I'm definitely gonna have this one again. I think this one, last episode I also did a pale ale, and that one was on the border between 3.75 and 4. I like that one a little bit better than this one, so the Mirror Pond is going to earn a 3.75 for me.
Okay, yeah,
Nice.
I was going to ask because I know you did the pale ale last time too. I've
Right.
never had Deschutes, and Tud has.
Yeah.
Deschutes? Yeah. So I'm kind of jealous. I wish.
Yeah, the fresh squeeze is fantastic.
Like I said, maybe it's not the perfect analogy, but they are almost like the Sam Adams here, where it's kind of universal.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. Quick update, now that we're done with our beer reviews. Chris, how many of those 31 ounces you got down?
Ooh.
I would say 10 ounces.
Okay, first beer
So,
down.
Oh no, you
Finish
didn't lick
finish
that
that-
glass clean.
Nope. And I'm actually going to be in Neanderthal, and I'm not even going to wash it out because I love the podcast. So cracking into my second beer, which is a 16-ouncer, hopefully. Ooh, I don't have a 5-ounce beer, so I'm going to have to drink. I'm going to have to overachieve.
So what are we drinking here?
So I switched it up. I went to a stout, and this is from Blowing Rock Brewing, which is in Hickory, North Carolina.
Okay.
I stopped at this place when I was, in North Carolina for my interview and tried a bunch of their beers. Pretty good stuff. And this is an Imperial Stout brewed with coffee, toasted oats, maple syrup, and natural cocoa powder. So
Interesting.
yeah, I mean, the SRM on this bad boy is like negative or positive 2 billion, so it's a pretty dark beer.
Yeah, it's dark as night.
Yeah, it's very dark. And it's 9% alcohol by volume, so this is probably not the best beer to choose when I'm drinking 31 ounces in one night, but but let me see. I tried this at the brewery. Let's see what it rates on the podcast. Just real quick. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. So it's really good. It's sweet because of the maple syrup, but then the coffee and the natural cocoa powder, it kind of like mellows it out a little bit, gives it a little bit of bitter bite towards the end. I'd give this I'm gonna do a 3.75 again. I don't think it's quite the best Imperial Stout I've had on the podcast, but very, very good. So, but there we go. So this is gonna be 16 ounces once I'm done with this. So assuming I don't pour any out, and so that'll bring me up to 26 ounces. So
Okay.
I'm gonna overachieve. I don't have a 5-ounce beer, unfortunately. But there we go. That's my second beer I'm working through.
So I think we're a little late to this news because it's been a couple weeks. But
Did you hear the new news?
I guess it's more. Did you hear the old news?
Did you hear the history?
Did you guys see that Old Burnside closed?
Oh no!
I did see that. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're not
They
opening
do that
up again.
Scotch ale, right?
10-penny.
10 penny. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're one of the oldest breweries I can think of in Connecticut.
Yeah, I think they might be the oldest. I don't really know.
But they're one of the mainstays that's been around before our time.
Yeah, they announced on their Facebook page that they will not be reopening for the season. They always close in the winter, but they will not be reopening for the season, putting to bed one of the oldest craft beers in Connecticut.
I know, and we were just talking, I think on episode 27 or 26 about, is there a craft beer bubble in Connecticut? And we were saying the first sign of that would be some breweries closing.
So are you saying it's our fault?
Yes, I think we jinxed them to death.
Damn it.
Yeah.
No, I did see that. And I think like y'all was saying, it was 18 years that they opened and closed and opened and closed. So, they say they're retiring. So I don't know. Maybe they were older, but
yeah,
still.
I read somewhere that the owner might have health problems. So that was what was forcing them to close as well. So it might not just be because there's a bubble that popped. It might just be literally they were done working / couldn't work anymore.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's not say that we jinxed them into non-existence.
Yeah.
This is akin to Aramoni's closing. It's something that's been a mainstay in Connecticut forever and ever and ever. And you think the 10-penny ale, especially, you're like, man, that's good beer.
Right. I think it's a mainstay that nobody really thought about because it's always been there.
Right.
Even though
exactly.
It's a hell of a beer.
Yeah. So
well, let me be the first to raise my glass to cheers to old Burnside. Thanks for the many beers, the many years of beers. Happy trails. Farewell. Hope you ride off to the sunset.
Yes. Yes. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, old Burnside. Pour one out for the brewery.
Chris can't pour one out. He has to drink all 31.
Nope.
Well, that's how he gets rid of some of his ounces.
Yeah, there's no math here that's going to lead me to 31. Oh man. But yeah, that's an unfortunate thing that happened, but it's all good. There's still be beer to drink, which is the most important thing.
Right. I hope somebody, if they really are closing due to the owner's health reasons, I hope somebody picks up the 10-penny ale recipe and continues to make it. Because it would be a shame if one of Connecticut's oldest flagship beers just disappeared.
Yeah. Who would you want to pick it up?
That's a good question.
Hooker?
I was thinking Pioneer Valley.
Pioneer could do it. I think Hooker or Two Roads maybe just because they're big enough to where it would just be a blip on their radar.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, those are both probably the answers I would think of.
I think those are maybe City Steam will pick it up.
Maybe.
I mean, I think there was a friendship there long ago, so
it would be cool if one of them did. So let's hope in the months to come we find out that someone does brew it. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and they used to do Obert. I think Obert mentioned this on the podcast a little while ago about Berkshire Brewing Company, but Old Burnside did the same thing where they sell growlers in the stores full of 10-penny ale, so you could actually go buy a growler of 10-penny and bring it home. Right.
Yeah. That's a pretty cool thing. So what are those things called that the mall cops ride on?
Is that your way to say we need a segue?
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So what's next?
Okay.
Touche.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I got a question for you. How much does a polar bear weigh?
Enough to break the ice.
No, you would think that, but actually they live on ice, so that would be kind of dumb.
That's very true.
Anyway, Ted, what were you saying?
I don't know. I actually didn't have a response.
No, that was me leading you into stupid questions.
See, you couldn't leave well enough alone, Obert. I had him going.
I know.
Oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy is right.
Okay, so I've got some stupid questions.
Ooh.
Oh, that was a nice segue, Ted.
Yeah.
You catch any shoplifters with that thing?
Nope.
I got some stupid questions.
Obert, this one probably will appeal more to you as the engineer of the group.
Okay.
But would someone with lots of flatulence have higher buoyancy than someone of the same mass without it?
That's a really good question.
Is it?
Well, yeah, because it's all about how your body breaks stuff down, right? And it's not about the mass; it's about the volume. That's what buoyancy is. It's mass over its density. So if you and your flatulent friend, give me a name for your flatulent friend.
Chris.
Let's call him Tut. No. All right. So if you and your flatulent friend Chris.
Have you ever been in a car with Chris? You would know.
He has been in a car with me for 16 hours with 3 cats.
And folks, I just want to say, you don't want to let Chris be the one who controls the locks and the power windows.
Yes,
stuck
definitely.
in the car with him. But let's just say you both ate a big, beefy, giant black bean burrito. And then you go and you hop in a pool and you sit there for a couple hours. I think as flatulent Chris's body breaks down to gas, it's going to expand and cause him to be a little bit more buoyant than non-flatulent Tud.
So if we were to crash into a lake, flatulent Chris is most likely to rise to the surface than lean, hard, muscled Tud.
Sometimes it pays to fart, folks.
Well, actually, wouldn't it be not to fart?
Right, it pays to hold it in.
Well, I was going to say, so let's go a step further. Say we fell in the water and Chris is full of gas, and say he starts to fart
hypothetical Chris.
Yeah,
no,
right.
Say he starts to fart while he's in the water. Will the farts help him stay up at the top of the water as well as like a propulsion
Can he use it as a jet? Is the question.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't think he can fart that hard.
Would it work in space?
Yes. It would definitely work in space.
If you fart in space,
so you tell me, if you fart in space, it'll push you forward?
Yes.
No way.
Didn't you guys ever read the sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the Great Glass Elevator?
No.
That's how they move around in space.
I can't believe this is like for serious.
For serious, yeah. I'm not making that up. That's how Roald Dahl decided you should have to move around in space.
Oh, okay.
No, I never read that book.
So when there's an astronaut outside the International Space Station and they fart, they move.
Well, no, they're in a suit. So
they're in a suit. Contained. So what they should do is they should re-engineer the suits where there's like a hole right where your butt is, so you can use it as propulsion system.
Move by leasing gas out of your butt flap.
NASA #NASA, get on this.
Yeah, one of our more popular hashtags on the podcast.
There you go.
#NASA. Let's get on this.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
So, Chris, do you want to provide the audience with an update on how you're doing?
Oh, yes. All right. So, as you can see, my glass is empty again. So that's 26 ounces down. And unfortunately, they don't make 5-ounce beers. And all I have is 16-ounce cans. So, because I love the audience, so I'm going to crack this next beer. Also, I believe from North Carolina.
But you're not turning 42.
No one ever said that you gained extra wisdom at 31 here.
So I'm cracking this next beer. It's from Boone, North Carolina. So this is all North Carolina beers coming in now. And this is Boone Shine Brewing Company. It's a New England style IPA.
Okay.
Or so they claim.
It looks like a New England style IPA.
It's called Nuclear Seahorse, which is a pretty cool can art on there, if you see that. So dual-headed seahorse. You'll see it on Instagram, of course.
It's like Blinky the three-eyed fish from Simpsons, but two-bodied seahorse connected. Conjoined seahorses.
So it's only 5.5%, and it looks, relatively, lighter for a hazy IPA. So let's see what it tastes like.
Yeah, if I was Ted Cleo, I would not have high expectations for this one.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be sweet. It's very light on alcohol, so it probably is a little on the sweeter side. I'm going to say he's going to give it a 3.25.
I like that 3.25.
Well, you're close. So it is sweet. You get a tiny bit of bitterness in the middle. But it's not a bad beer. Probably not something I would go out of my way of drinking again. I don't know if I can quite go as low as a 3.25 though. So sorry.
What's it dry hopped with?
So this is fueled by Mosaic, Yukonot, and Amarillo. So
Yukonot, huh?
Yeah, it's a really odd hop. I don't even know. I don't know if I've read it before, but I don't know if I've ever had it.
I think I've had a beer. I think I've had a pale ale with Yukonot in it, but
yeah, and it is very light. It's very reminiscent of a pale ale. I don't know if I could go, because I did have my earbuds in. I don't know if I could go as low as a 3.25. I'd probably give it a 3.5. it's not bad.
Yeah, and I've mentioned on the pod before, I've not had a lot of luck with New England IPAs in Montana. I just wanted to do a quick shout out to the best one I've had. I actually had it at that brew fest I went to a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Conflux down in Missoula brews a New England IPA. They said they've been gradually adding more and more pounds of hops. They're up to, I think, 4.5 pounds of hops per barrel, or 3.5 pounds of hops per barrel.
It still sounds pretty light.
Yeah, so this was the Take a Whiff on Me New England IPA. I gave it a 4.0, and I said that was the best New England IPA I've had so far in Montana.
Now, when you gave it a 4.0, is that a 4.0 on the Montana scale, or is that a 4.0, like if it was in Connecticut, we'd all give it a 4.0?
It's a good question. I'm looking at my check-ins from that day, and for me, that was a damn good New England IPA. I would go out of my way to try that again. So that's why I gave it a 4.0. I mean, in Connecticut, you can get them all over the place. You turn a left, take a left on a street corner, and then bam.
Well, that's why I asked the question. Is it a 4.0 Connecticut way, or is it a 4.0 Montana way?
I think I did give it a little bit of an edge because it's so unique out here. That definitely pushed it over the top a little bit to that 4.0 rating.
I think if any brewers are listening that don't live in the Northeast, I think the secret of making a New England IPA, and I speak of this as somebody who's not a brewer, but somebody who's drank a lot of IPAs, is don't add weird hops like you cannot. Just stick with, Mosaic and Citra and Simcoe and, the standard run-of-the-mill hops that everybody knows. And that's what makes a New England IPA so juicy. Citra is everywhere. Yeah.
I don't want to get too far out in left field here, but I think in Montana, a lot of brewers are afraid to charge $4 for a can of beer.
I could see that.
So,
I mean, the other thing is these folks use Yukon, and it's not a bad beer. I get a lot more dankness than I would expect from a New England IPA, but I still want them to try because
hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so if everybody used Citra, Mosaic, and whatever, especially Citra and Mosaic, those they're all going to taste exactly the same. I mean, yeah, you can use a different grain bill and you can use all this other stuff, but when you specifically brew IPAs, a lot of the times that you drink an IPA is for the specific hops. So I mean, I want them to try something else. I applaud Nuclear Seahorse for trying something different. And it's not a bad beer. I mean, I don't know if I would go out of my way to order it again, but not bad.
I get that.
Pretty good.
But at the same time, if you're a brewery that's trying to brew a New England style IPA, it's like telling a kid to write me a 50-page book instead of just writing out his ABCs at first. You got to learn how to walk before you run. You got to learn how to crawl before you can walk.
Well, I guess I can kind of see that. Yeah, it's make a basic New England IPA before you try to
go out,
twist
all out.
the. Yeah, right. I hear that.
Sean Lawson, the guy who owns Lawson's Fine Ales, gave the recipe of Double Sunshine away. Just published it in a magazine, said, "This is for everybody, here you go." Everybody who owns a brewery should just brew that recipe first, and just, there you go, New England style IPA. Master that, then move on. Then add Yukon. Maybe I'm just being too picky.
No, there's Todd's hot take.
Hashtag Todd's hot take.
All right, so to continue with this stupid question.
You got another question for us?
We're back on stupid questions.
I do.
Stupid questions.
So, all of us here have attempted to play D&D or Pathfinder at some point.
I was actually just thinking about that today, because I was like, man, I miss playing Pathfinder.
Yeah, I do too. We should probably do that again.
Yeah, but we should. But anyways, continue with the question.
Do bugs take fall damage?
Is that it? That's the end of the question?
That's it.
Okay.
I took the last one on, so I'm leaving this one for Chris.
Okay, so I think if a bug is affected by either
this
sleep
is a real life question though. Like if I drop a beetle on the ground, does it take fall damage?
Oh, never mind. Never mind then.
We'll continue with your thought. I want to know where you were going.
It debugs my entire. Debugs my entire thought, because I was thinking in the spirit of Pathfinder or D&D or whatever, and if it's affected by a sleeping charm or a daze spell or something like that, then yeah, for sure it takes fall damage if it falls to the ground. But in real life, I don't know.
If you drop an ant from your height, it just continues to walk.
That's true, and that's
yeah, it's because ants don't have enough mass to get that much force when they hit the ground, even when they're falling from that high.
See, he took it all technical.
I know. I'm no fun with stupid questions because I'm like, yeah, the answer's no. They don't.
So how high do I have to drop an ant for it to die?
It doesn't matter.
From a height.
No, because after it falls for 3 seconds, it doesn't matter. Like
that's true.
Okay, so in that case,
way to ruin the fun.
You could drop it from Mount Everest.
Yeah,
and like it'll still be
top
fun.
of the Empire State Building. It'd still live.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Well, let's suck the air out of it. But if it was hit by
Buzzkill Obert over here.
Yeah, if it was Buzzkill, get it? So but if it was hit by
drinking 20 plus ounces a night more often, you're killing it with these bug puns.
Boom. But anyways, yeah, so if it was hit with a daze spell, I would say for sure for every 10 feet off the ground, it would take 1d6 worth of damage. So it's fine. But
okay.
Let's go with that answer.
I guess it's like, so even if you drop I figure like a worm is a very dense bug, right? Let
me check my chart over here.
One of the denser bugs.
Yeah, it's near the top.
It's one of the densest bugs.
If you dropped it from the top of a house, it wouldn't like plop on the ground and like burst open.
No, not top of that. Top of the house is like not that much.
You said 3 seconds to reach terminal velocity, which
I think that's correct. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is, but
no, I don't. Again, I'm going to be a buzzkill here and be like, so just tell you now, bugs are fine. Bugs plus falling equals fine.
Bugs plus falling equals fine. All right. Well, there goes that question. So, all right. What do you got next, Todd?
They're not stupid if Obert applies actual logic.
Logic. Yeah. I'm no fun with those stupid questions. I'm sorry.
All right. So I'm going to ask one more stupid question.
Okay. Good. I was hoping that you had one more.
Yeah. This is why I let you go first last time, Chris, because I knew you would have more fun with it with the 1d6 per 10 feet.
But I really we've been cleaning out we were cleaning out stuff and I found like my GM book and stuff like that, and I was like, man, I wish we were still playing Pathfinder in some regards. It doesn't matter what, but like if you guys wanted to, maybe with my new schedule we might be able to.
I would do it. All right, so here's the question.
Okay.
If Lil Wayne says, and there's a Lil Lil Wayne
mm-hmm.
said, "Bitches come a dime a dozen," and Kanye said, "One good girl is worth 1,000 bitches," does that mean a good girl is worth $8.33?
What?
I mean, I can't beat that logic.
Yeah, out logic that, Obert.
I can't. I mean, that's straight up transitive property.
Come on, Obert. This is why I chose this one.
If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Therefore, yes, that math checks out.
All right, so okay, run it by me one more time.
I've already got the episode title here, which is DAWF applies the transitive property to rap songs.
DAWF does math.
All right, so here's the problem again.
Okay.
If Lil Wayne says bitches, and we have to assume that Lil Wayne knows how much a bitch is worth.
The fair market value of a bitch.
Right. If Lil Wayne says bitches come a dime a dozen.
Okay.
And Kanye said one good girl, and we have to assume that Kanye knows the worth of a good girl.
Okay.
Kanye said one good girl is worth 1,000 bitches. Does that mean that a good girl is worth $8.33?
So now
I don't know. I don't know.
Just checking his math here. Is that all we're doing?
No. Well, okay. So you got to think about it. So like, a bitch is worth. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but a bitch is worth a dime a dozen, right?
Right. So you get 12 bitches for a dime.
Right.
12 bitches for a dime. Okay, I got that. Okay, so 1 cent a piece.
Yes.
No, 0.8333 cents a piece.
Oh, right. A dime a dozen. Right. Okay. So then one good girl
is worth 1,000 bitches.
No, okay. So you got to think about it. Like, so you got bitches and you got good girls. Are you saying they're overlapping? Like, there's a Venn diagram somewhere where there's like bitches and good girls and they overlap?
Well, so think about it this way. You saved up all your bitches and you went to the good girl store and you said, "I want to give you 1,000 bitches. Do you get one good girl back?"
Hello, listening audience. This is Obert here. I'm just coming here to say I realize what's happening. Thank you for entertaining us this far. If you want to just fast forward maybe 2 minutes, you will get through this.
No, I mean bitches can be boys or girls.
Yeah, you want to talk about it for another maybe minute 50 seconds?
I just think we got to break out a calendar here.
A calendar?
That's the wrong.
First pitch is up on January 1st.
Calculator.
Until mid-March, or you go around here.
No, not a calendar. That's wrong. Okay. Oh, so this is the insolvable problem. It's fine. It's fine.
So, okay, just to recap here, all right? If a good girl's worth 1,000 bitches, I think, therefore, a good girl is worth roughly somewhere around, like, Flag Day.
I think
Flag
that is...
Day 2022, right, is according to my math.
Yeah. No, I think that math checks out, so it's fine. Oh man.
Okay. Well, I think that was about 2 minutes, guys. Let's go to the handles.
All right, handle time.
Oh, man. This is why we don't have Chris drink 31 ounces of beer every episode.
Right.
Listen, that wasn't my fault.
It's true. So I'm going to lead off this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to lead in the segment before you just before you go off on telling your handle?
Welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, the final segment where we lift a frosty mug of wisdom that has 3 handles on it, where we each give you a little piece of advice to make your life. My name is Obert, and I'm lifting the first handle.
Hey, just so you know, Dana just texted me saying I need to keep it down.
Did you text her back and say, hey, I'm drinking 31 ounces of beer for my birthday?
I'm going to say it's my birthday.
It's my birthday, don't laugh if I want to. Laugh if I want to, laugh if I want to. Send. So now with that intro, I have to share that if there's one thing in Montana we know very well, it's chapped lips. It's dry here, it's cold, it's nasty winter. So I wanted to share a local brand of lip balm that I think is worth paying shipping fees to get wherever you live. It's called Hurraw, and it's made right here in Whitefish, and they have some amazing flavors, and it's $4 for a tube of this lip balm, but I think it's worth every penny.
Now, that's pretty expensive for lip balm.
Yeah, that's a little pricey.
As a skeptical non-Montanan,
that's fair.
Is pretty expensive. Like I go with like the Burt's Bees every once in a while, but like other than that,
I mean, a chapstick's probably like $1 for a tube. I think if I put a chapstick on, I don't think twice about it. I'm just like, oh, here's some chapstick. When I put on some Hurraw lip balm, I'm like, this is a treat for my lips.
Do you audibly exclaim "Hurrah" when you put it on?
Oh, actually, it's you're legally required to. It says it on here on the label. You have to shout "Hurrah" every time.
Okay. As long as that's a requirement, I'm cool with it.
All right, so who's going next?
I'll go next. So, last week I shared a comedy special on Netflix, and this week I'm going to share a TV show on Netflix that Yep, I'm going with Netflix twice, people.
Netflix 2 in a row.
Yes.
It's been a busy winter, huh, Ted?
It's been a very busy winter. It's actually a show that I haven't watched any of, but I've sat in the same room while Caitlin's been watching it and listened.
You cannot. Sorry, I'm taking your mug back. I'm taking your mug back. You're not going to recommend a show you haven't watched.
No. But I've listened to it. I can tell you just by listening to it that it's funny. You gonna say anything back to me?
No.
Okay.
I mean, like, it is a little bit half-assed, but
fine.
I mean,
no,
it's just it seemed like as though you like lucked into this handle because Caitlin was watching it.
Nope, I'm gonna pick a different one.
Okay, good.
What was the show?
Right. I'm not gonna tell you now. You're screwed.
Okay, so you'll have to watch it and come back and do that for a real handle sometime in the future.
So my handle this week is a library card.
Wait, didn't we do this one?
No, we talked about it.
We talked about it. So my handle this week is a library card. Everybody should go out to their library.
Listen, you haven't read The Name of the Wind yet, and it's been in your house for like 3 years. So
I'm not saying I'm reading anything. So at a library.
Now, Todd, this library card sure sounds expensive to me. How am I supposed to afford one of these library cards?
It's completely free.
What? Free?
You can go to the library. You can rent books. You can rent movies. You can rent video games. And you can download Hoopla and some other app that you can actually you can borrow books digitally, and they're audiobooks, so they'll actually read them to you. All for the low price of free. You can actually rent music too, so just to beat out Obert's handle from last week about Amazon Prime Music, this is the free way of getting music. Library card, people. Stop by your local library. All you need is your ID.
I'm going to take the Frosty mug back. Hey, I have some advice. If you want to listen to some free music, go to the subway and just stand around and wait for people to play music near you, because that's also free. Go to a bar. A lot of times, if you go into a bar, they will have a jukebox where someone else paid for you to listen to music.
That's true.
I feel like you're anti-library.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to trash. I said last week too that I love handles where you're saving our listening audience money. And yeah, if you don't have a library card yet, what are you doing? That's the first thing I did when I moved to Montana. I got a library card. You should do it.
Is it really?
Yeah. I went to the library and I said, hey, what are some cool, what are some local activities you guys do? They put on the local trivia. It's like a good way to get involved in your community. Just show up at your library. See what's going on.
That's kind of interesting.
So Obert went from being anti-library to
when I moved to Tennessee,
a really big library fan.
Well,
big fan of the library.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, now that you're in North Carolina, you should probably swing through your local North Carolinian library and get a library card.
I'm gonna see what they have to offer, because there's definitely some stuff around me that has a like a rec park and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'll definitely.
It's cool for CJ too. There's little kid stuff there too.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically all we do now is CJ stuff.
And they have video games. And they have new video games.
So what's your favorite library?
Otis Library.
Where's the best library you go to?
The Hartford Public Library is probably the biggest.
And they are the ones with the new video games and stuff?
Even the one in East Hampton has new video games. PS4 games, Xbox One games.
Wait,
Switch
you can
games.
take out games at a library now?
Yeah, you can rent video games.
Apparently, I'm
Chris
behind
is just
the time.
checking in on this, just realizing what's going on in this hand.
No. He did say video games before now.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He led in with video games.
It was actually the third thing that came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Well, you speak so fast.
Books, movies, video games.
Listen, I've drank, I don't know how many ounces of beer now.
More than your age, for sure.
Yeah, more than my age. I've definitely exceeded 31 ounces of beer in this episode, which was a bad choice.
Chris, you gotta take us home, even though it's your birthday.
But before you finish your handle, you have to finish your beer.
Maybe. I mean, I'll be close. I mean, I'm not drinking. I've been drinking pretty close.
This is where Chris edits in the beep, please stand by sound.
Yeah, exactly. So my handle tonight is a YouTube channel, which I think I put over a couple times. Well, not this particular one, but I put over a number of YouTube channels.
Is it a tweeter?
It's not a tweeter. No, not a tweeter. So it's called The Bright Side or Bright Side, one of those two. And what it does is it takes really random scenarios and will kind of walk you through example is what happens if the sun disappears, or what happens if the earth loses oxygen for 1 minute or something like that. And it's things of that nature.
Impossible hypotheticals.
Right, yeah. Really random just things that you would never think of. And it kind of takes the science, and to be fair, I don't know, I can't I can't fact check them, but
we had a hard enough time fact checking Lil Wayne and Kanye.
Right, exactly. And I don't know how truthful anything is, but it just seems really, really cool. And it gets me thinking for a while. So if you like YouTube, check them out. If you like random, they do a lot of space things and a lot of what happens to the planet if things. So if you like that kind of stuff, I would check them out. They're very interesting, very thought provoking.
That's cool. How long is the average video of theirs?
So it's probably 8 to 10 minutes.
So perfect.
Average.
Just
yeah,
it's just good for
it's
time.
What happens if
videos.
What happens if the sun loses energy, or what happens if the sun explodes or something like that. So, and then it's basically you die. But anyways, but it's been pretty interesting. I've watched a handful of their videos, and it's been it's been entertaining. So, I mean, it also gives you like this looming aura of impenitent doom, but like it is what it is. But it's pretty cool. Check out the bright side, and they will inform you on a lot of different things. And also, I think it's official. I think I've hit my quota for the episode.
Oh, you did.
Okay, good. Thank God.
I think the audience is happy you finished, though.
No, yeah. So everybody make sure when Obert and Tud both turn 31, then this is going to happen
You
as
want
well.
to hear this again, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right? Who wants to hear a drunk rambling man?
Yeah.
If you raise your hand, tune in August.
We're going to be at the Great American Brew Fest for my birthday.
And I think my birthday's a Sunday.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Ooh, those are both big, big days. Okay.
Yeah, one of them happens every 7 days.
It's a day of rest.
All right. That's enough of making.
All right, Ted, can you please let us escape from this episode now?
Yes. So thank you, everybody, for listening. We'd like to thank the breweries or the distilleries that provided today's alcohol. I'm going to go first with thanking Mile High Spirits for their Fireside Colorado Bourbon Whiskey.
I would like to thank Steel Spring Brewery, Bowling Rock Brewery, and Boonshine Brewing Company for their myriad of beers.
And I want to thank Deschutes for the Mirror Pond Pale Ale.
Make sure you guys are following us on all social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Untapped at DAWF Podcast. Hashtag follow the email with comments, questions, general thoughts, concerns, hatred, or whatever you just want to tell us. Let us know if you guys need stickers. We're leaving them around the breweries around the state or around random parts around our states. Chris blanketed Tennessee. I'm sure he'll do the same in North Carolina now. Make sure you go on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, and leave a comment. We love to read the comments. It also helps other people find us and moves us up in the charts, so make sure you guys are doing that. We're still waiting for 1,000 followers on Instagram, so make sure that you guys are going on and following us there. Once we reach 1,000, we'll be doing a giveaway of some Montana beers provided by Obert. Also, we want to give a shout out to James Vaklovic Designs for designing our logo and that logo of the Marital Discord podcast. Follow him on Facebook at James Vaklovic Design. And with that, my name's Tud.
My name's Chris.
And I'm Obert. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends. Now, Chris, I have some good news for you. You know how hangovers are terrible at age 30? 31, it's all fine. They'll go away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank God.
Yeah, don't worry. Tomorrow, you'll be fine.
Oh, I was so worried. I was like, 31 ounces of beer. It's a tall.